the BMW i8, a car that's made up of three distinct areas. Right at the front is the electric motor. Towards the middle of the car, we have the lithium ion battery packs, placed very carefully, giving a low centre of gravity which also improves handling. And then, behind the driver and the passengers, there's a 1.5 litre turbocharged petrol engine lifted straight from the Mini. All this in a body shell that looks more like it's been designed by McLaren, Ferrari or Lamborghini rather than BMW. But here it is. This is the i8 from BMW. And what a car it really is. But if we're being honest, as good as the i8 looks, it's a bit flawed. Let's just pop back to the beginning and look at those bits again. The i8's electric motor generates quite a bit of power at the front wheels, but the problem is the battery pack will only give you 20 miles all-electric range, which isn't too bad when you think about it, considering there's not too many batteries in there. But the thing is, the engine can be used to charge those batteries, but only in sport mode. And the fuel tank is not exactly huge. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautifully crafted car. It's really well put together, and the technology, certainly for the time, was absolutely amazing. I mean, the only other car that could compare with it at the time was the Lamborghini Asterion. Lamborghini showed the Asterion, and the same year that BMW launched the i8, it was a technology demonstrator that was ready to go. And BMW had been showing the i8 off in various forms for the previous couple of years, and suddenly Lamborghini showed up with this. Why they never released it, I will never know. It was ready to go. It was a production-ready running model that they showed, had everything in place. And Lamborghini decided not to release that in favour of the Urus, whatever it's called. Basically, a Volkswagen Touareg with a Lamborghini Frock. But back to the i8. Inside the car, it's brilliantly comfortable. Everything's well laid out and within reach. Very logical and very easy to get used to. You don't feel like you're in some sort of hybrid car. The looks and lines are purposeful too and have a function. The channels are there to reduce air drag and allow the car to be more fuel efficient. The different modes are shown on the display, and all the information is right there where you need it, when you need it. And those doors.
And I'm sure you'd never get bored of stepping in and out of it and giving it a look every time you get out.
No. I mean, the doors alone just make it all, yeah.
Yes, that says it all. If it's going to be a car that's got to catch the eye and make you feel good driving, blah, 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 you've got to make that entrance in and out of it and look good. And what does it better than gull-wing doors?
Yeah, well, they call these one butterfly doors.
A bit more eco, so they're called butterfly doors. Well, that's a new one on me.
The design of the car just works. Everything about it is designed to be functional, but the thing is, it doesn't detract from its actual looks. While the M1 brought about the M-series cars, the i8 brought about the age of a performance hybrid. This is why it's down as the car I'd have money no object. It's got the looks, it's got the style. That would satisfy my sort of aesthetic side of me. But it's also got the technology, and that sort of satisfies the geeky side of me as well. And the way that everything works together, yes, it's flawed, it has its faults, and I'm pretty sure if if the car was being approached now, there would be some things that would be changed. But even the little faults make the car rather than detract from it. Some of these flaws can be traced back to the very origins and prototypes of the i8. Initially, it was shown with a diesel engine as a generator rather than a petrol, but not long after the concepts were shown, there was a little bit of concern over diesels that came about, and as a result, the diesel concept was dropped. Had the diesel remained, though, the fuel tank that's in the i8 would certainly be enough to give it a larger range than it currently has. But we don't have that. We have the 1.5 petrol. And to be fair, even with it having the 1.5 petrol, we still get zero tax because the emissions are so low on the car. So it's a win-win, really. Since then, the range has gone on to now include a convertible. The convertible, though, has been shown in various concepts, including one without doors. But there are a few differences between the convertible and the normal GT. For example, the convertible doesn't have the two back seats because that's where the roof goes. It also has a little bit more storage, and they've done this without actually spoiling the overall profile. But the really clever things here are a little more range in all-electric mode, but also a really simple roof mechanism with very little to actually go wrong. But for me, it has to be the original GT. I do like the idea of having the two extra seats in the back, but for me, it's the car that I originally fell in love with. And in our first ever episode, the GT version of the i8 played a very important part.
So, going back to this, which I thought was a stereo,
Yeah,
where on earth is the stereo?
there.
So everything that you need is going to be basically from this unit here.
Yep, and there.
Now you see again,
And-
I wouldn't think that was a stereo. I still look at this and think that's where my stereo is.
And there.
Well, I can appreciate, yeah, controls on the steering wheel. That's fine all day long, but
But yeah, it's not there. That looks like an old retro stereo.
it
but
does.
it's not
And if
a
I
retro
asked
stereo.
anyone to find a stereo, they'd be expecting to see a display on there and volume, and it even
It's
says,
in a display, but it would tell you how hot and cold you are.
well, yeah, yeah.
And, you have
And
35
talking
radio
of
on.
displays, you say obviously the traditional BMW head-up display.
Yes, if I just start this up again, mind the bonging.
A big favourite on cars. I think every car should have a head-up display.
It's right, but you can see it. It looks like it's way ahead of the car.
Do you know what? I can't.
Despite its flaws, the i8 is the car for me. It's the car I would ultimately choose if money was no object. Yes, I like the Asterion. There's various other cars that have come along since, like the AMG Project 1. But for performance, technology, looks, the overall package, it has to be this one, the original i8 GT. And if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you don't like it, you know what to do. Leave us a comment, tell us what you think, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Stay safe. Bye for now.